Alright guys, how's it going? Got the update. So I'm in a Generation 1 dual motor Standard Plus. I already had the Performance Pack unlocked. I do not have Connect Plus, so I was in one of the final batches of this software update rollout that went out. Um, Started rolling out on the 11th, I believe, and today is now the 17th. So it's St. Patrick's Day, and luck of the Irish, I got the update. So this is 25.06. This is the first update that's had the 2025 update code in it, if I remember correctly. The last one came in February. Because they were working on it in 2024, it was still listed as a 2024 update. So let's explore these highlights. So as you can see now, you can pick your tire based on either the Rivian rim and tires that they offer. You can now put Generation 1 tires on a Generation 2 and a Generation 2 tire on a Generation 1 like I have here. I'm not going to be switching out my wheels anytime soon. The good thing is this will also give you the ability to add your own wheel and tire information. Tilting rear view mirrors. I don't know that this is a feature that I will get much use out of, but this is a good one to have. So when you're backing up, the mirrors will lean themselves towards the ground so that you don't scrape your tires like everyone in a Model Y. They've all got their rims curbed for some reason, so you can not do this in a Rivian by having this feature. So let's start on this screen. As I said, it's a Rivian R1S. I've got the performance that was unlocked from the factory. It's a dual motor, and this is the Standard Plus battery. So for those who aren't familiar with the Generation 1, near the end of the Generation 1, before they shut down to start making Generation 2, they launched what was called a Standard and a Standard Plus, which was the same battery pack that's used in the Generation 1 Large, but it was software locked to a specific capacity. So mine is software locked at 121 kilowatts. The total pack size is 141, I believe. So personally, if you're in the used market and you're looking for an R1S or an R1T, if you can find a Standard Plus, that would be the ideal pack to get. Mostly because you could theoretically charge it to 100% every time and not really have to worry about it. I don't do that, but you could. So now we'll get in. Oh, and you see here, I have the 22 Sport Brights on, which is represented in the image of the car when you're on this screen. So the screen here is a representation of what it would look like. If I were to go in and do the tire change, which I'll show in a second, the image here would also reflect that. So to change those tires, you'd go into your settings, you would be in vehicle, service, go down, and you can see here that it has the tires that originally came with the vehicle. You can swap those, add them directly from here. You see, if I went with these, for example, these tires are the most range efficient, enabling up to an extra 15 miles of range, depending on your configuration. Now, if I were to select these, I'm not going to see an additional 15 miles of range. It's going to give me the same range that my current 22s have. This 15 miles of range is really as if you were switching from the 20 all-terrains to this 22 with the aero cap. I'm not going to go ahead and confirm because it shuts the whole system down. It needs to do a reboot so that everything calibrates. But when and if I did, the tires on this screen would represent the new tires that I pick. The additional feature that was added with this wheel and tire package as well is that you'll be able to track the miles that you have on your tires. So these tires have been on my car since I bought it, so almost 9,000 miles at this point. I did have them rotated once, so we will go into edit for the total miles. And actually, hold on, I need to look up what my total miles are. Up here. So my total miles are 8,947. So I'm going to say 8,947 change. Miles have been updated. Miles since last rotation. I did recently just get those rotated a couple weeks ago, and the invoice had on it the total miles, and I believe the difference is 745 miles. So I will put those in. Rotation reminder is 7,500 miles by default. You can change that if you choose to. And since we're back on this screen is the really the biggest change in this update, because owners who purchased a dual motor non-Generation 2 standard LFP pack, but a dual large, a dual max, or Generation 1 dual standard plus, dual large, without the performance pack, which is $5,000, now have the ability to add that feature for $5,000 after the fact. So if you've owned the vehicle for 60 days or more, you now have the ability to add the performance pack. I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't pay the $5,000 again to do it. It's a nice to have. I've never really ever used it. There's no real world example where I put it in sport mode. It just drives better, more comfortable in the medium ride height that comes along with all purpose. So what this update did do was it changed this layout, and I'll try to put a picture in of what the layout did look like. This is more aligned with the design philosophy used on the quad and the max, the quad and the tri-motor, where you've got an on-road and an off-road section. Now, if you have a dual motor with the all-terrain package and not the performance package, but just the all-terrain package, this screen will actually look closer to what it used to look like before this update, where you just have the on-road, no off-road button, and then the layout has all-purpose. They also get rally mode added, which is where my sport button used to be, and then snow and all-terrain. But for those that do have the performance package or choose to unlock the performance package, this changes. Personally, I like this better. Like I said, it does align better with the design philosophy used across the other platforms. One thing, not that my videos get enough views that Rivian would see or hear this, I would love that if they just continued that theme across and had all-purpose conserve, sport, and snow on this screen. All-purpose is fine, but I would like to have an all-purpose with the all-wheel drive option, and my guess is that they can't do that because of the way they measured it for the EPA range, but maybe a toggle for all the time all-wheel drive, just so you don't have that rear disconnect clunk, or for times when I want four-wheel drive but don't want to be in snow mode. Maybe it's slippery outside, just want to add the extra traction. That would be one thing that I wish they would add. But as you can see, all-purpose, sport. Let me essentially turn the car on now. So now you can see that these are selectable. If I hit sport, this changes. The graphics are still the same sport graphics. Changes my ride height. It's not going to change too much because I was in Neil mode. And then you've got snow mode. So makes a lot of sense from this on-road screen here. But with the performance package added, like I said, I now have it separated between on-road and off-road. So if I go into off-road and tell it, yes, I'm going off-road, you now see that the layout is similar. All-terrain, soft sand. Previously had those before this update. And again, this update did add the rally mode. Again, not specific to sport mode or performance mode. You also get this with the all-terrain package. So that's a nice little surprise for those who didn't get the performance pack. So go into rally, and you get these graphics for rally mode. And the default setting is standard height. You can't go any lower than standard height. Soft ride feel. You've got the regen and high and the reduced stability. You can still turn stability off by holding it. So if you want to let the back end slide a little bit, you can turn that off. So going back into the settings, as I said, the other feature was the tilting mirrors. So you go into settings, vehicle, I believe it was in access. And then you see here, side mirror auto tilting. So side mirrors automatically tilt down when in reverse, like I mentioned. The default setting for this is off. And the reason for that is if you do turn it on, there's a customize button. You then go through the process, very similar to when you're setting the mirrors where you want them. Anyhow, again, I'm not really gonna use this feature. It's actually interesting that, I don't know if you could tell, but while I'm in the setting, the mirrors were just moving themselves around. That was actually kind of weird. Go into customize again. Oh, no, they're not doing it. It gave me a little demonstration. Oh, there it goes. It's nighttime. You're not going to be able to see it, I guess. Anyhow, gives you a little demonstration. The mirrors are actually moving. They're moving in every direction, up, down, left, right. Now that the setting went away, they just put themselves back in their default setting. So that was unexpected. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back off because that's not anything, like I said, that I'm going to be interested in using. So let's go into the updates. It does look as if there's a key fob update. Driver Plus is up to date. So again, for those of us in a Generation 1, we know Driver Plus is our cruise control, essentially. Little disappointed that Rivian overpromised and underdelivered with the capabilities of Driver Plus, but they have moved on to Rivian Autonomy Plus, so RAP Plus, as the new ADAS system with some enhanced features that they're bringing on for that Generation 2 and going forward. Again, disappointed that we're not getting as much love. I don't care about hands-free driving, to be honest with you. I had it in my Mustang Mach-E. It's fine, but it's a gimmick. I would just like for the Driver Plus to actually be slightly better. That would be my only hope, is that Rivian doesn't completely abandon us when it comes to us Driver Plus Generation 1 users. If we go into the notes here, we've talked about the vehicle tire swap. We've talked about the new drive modes that are available, the tilting mirrors, some of the other improvements that aren't easily showable in the video. It does mention that it's improved the tri-zone heating performance. We're coming near the end of winter, so may not really experience that much. Improved vehicle battery efficiency when the vehicle is parked. I think that's to reduce some of the phantom drain. Improved responsiveness of proximity with phone as a key. I'll be interested to see if I notice some of that. One of the challenges that I have, I'm using an Android device. I'm using a OnePlus 12. I do find that sometimes the phone needs to be unlocked in order for the car to recognize the phone. Other times it doesn't. So I'll be interested to see how much better that actually works. The consistency of roomy entry and exit, that's one that I'll be happy if they worked out the bugs there. I do use the roomy exit feature, but there are times I get in the car, I hit the brake and the seat and doesn't move, and the steering wheel is still kind of in the up position, so I have to put the car back in park, unbuckle the seatbelt, press the brake again, and then it says, oh shit, you're here, and puts the seat in the right position. So that's one. The app is now updated, so I can open the charge door directly from the app. It's a nice to have, but I don't know when that is going to be a huge need. And then what's the next ones? So some connectivity stuff, and then the driver display improvements. The driver display now shows notifications when you that warn you preemptively if cold weather may be affecting your range. Newsflash: cold weather always affects your range. So if it's cold outside, expect your range to be different. I'll be interested to see what that looks like from a notification standpoint. Put us back into all purpose. So that's essentially the big update for 2025.06 on a Generation 1 dual motor performance pack R1S. Thanks.